A stranger walks into a job interview wearing a sharp suit and a warm smile. Before he says a single word about his qualifications, the interviewer has already decided he's smart, trustworthy, and hardworking. This is one of the most quietly powerful biases in psychology. It's called the halo effect. And once you understand how it actually works, you'll start noticing it in almost every judgment you make about other people. In 1920, a psychologist named Edward Thorndike was studying how military officers rated their soldiers. He asked commanding officers to evaluate their men on a list of separate traits: intelligence, leadership, physical fitness, loyalty, character. These were supposed to be independent ratings. A soldier could be strong but not smart, loyal but not athletic. That's what independent traits mean, but that's not what Thorndike found. He found that if an officer rated a soldier highly on one trait, like physical bearing, that same soldier was almost always rated highly on every other trait too. Intelligence, leadership, character, all of it. The traits weren't actually connected. The officers were connecting them anyway. One positive impression was quietly bleeding into every other judgment. Thorndike named this the halo effect. Here is what is actually happening under the hood. Your brain doesn't like to hold contradictory impressions of the same person. It's uncomfortable. It takes effort. So once your brain forms one strong impression, good or bad, it takes a shortcut. It assumes the rest of the person matches. A halo forms around them, and everything you see afterward gets filtered through that halo. This is why attractive people are consistently rated as more intelligent, more trustworthy, and more competent in study after study, even when there is zero evidence for any of it. It's why a firm handshake makes people assume you're confident in your job. It's why a clean logo makes people assume a company is more reliable. None of these things are actually connected. A nice smile has nothing to do with your competence at spreadsheets, but your brain doesn't care. It already decided you're impressive, so now it's hunting for reasons to confirm that. But here is where most people miss the point, and where the halo effect gets genuinely dangerous. It runs in reverse, too. Psychologists call this the horn effect. One bad first impression, a wrinkled shirt, a nervous stutter, a weak handshake, and your brain builds the opposite halo. Now every other trait gets filtered through incompetence, even the ones that have nothing to do with what triggered it. This means the first few seconds of any interaction are doing more work than almost anything you say afterward. Not because people are shallow, because their brains are efficient. They are pattern matching on the fly, and the first pattern sets the frame for every pattern after it. There is also a second catch. The halo effect doesn't just affect how others see you, it affects how you see everyone else. The teacher you liked in school probably got the benefit of the doubt on every assignment. The coworker you find charming probably gets away with mistakes that would sink someone else. You're not being irrational on purpose. You're running the same shortcut everyone runs. Steve Jobs understood this instinctively. He wore the same simple outfit every single day, not because he lacked style, but because a clean, consistent, minimal presentation built an instant halo of focus and discipline before he ever opened his mouth. The turtleneck wasn't an accident. It was a first impression engineered on purpose. You cannot stop your brain from forming halos. That machinery is permanent. But you can decide which impression gets there first. Show competence before you show quirks. Show composure before you show comfort. Let the first few seconds work for you instead of against you. Because the first thing people notice about you isn't just a detail. For a little while, it's the whole story.